Is there an extra pen?
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week. Phil Jones with you, where tonight we are live, high atop the all-new state-of-the-art press box here at Bobby Grun Field at City Park in Gainesville, the home of the Red Elephants, for tonight's big region matchup between the undefeated and defending Class 7A, now 6A state champion Milton Eagles, of course, taking on Josh Niblett and the Gainesville Red Elephants, who have one loss on the season. Welcome in, everybody. Phil Jones with you. Glad to have you aboard here, whether you're watching on our ITG Next Georgia YouTube channel or our Facebook page. Welcome aboard. We hope to hear from you guys tonight. Love to comment from you. Hear the comments from you tonight, guys. I'll be commenting with y'all. And I'm proud to welcome in a very special guest. Normally I'm doing these things solo every Friday night, but not tonight. I am proud to welcome in very special guest, friend of mine, and some of you are going to remember this name from days gone by. Former Milton head football coach Adam Clack going to be on the call with me tonight. Coach, thanks so much for joining us, brother. We're glad to have you.
Oh, Phil, man, it's my pleasure. I am excited to be here, be on the call with you, and more importantly, watch one heck of a football game tonight.
It should be a great one. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by our friends at Farrah & Farrah, personal injury attorneys, and Northeast Georgia Physicians Group. Big thanks to those folks tonight who make tonight's live stream possible here at ITG Next Georgia. Coach, let's talk a little bit about this big matchup tonight. Of course, you're very familiar with one of these teams here tonight, the Milton Eagles. Now, it's you last coached Milton in what year?
2021, last game with those guys, with my guys, was against Travis Hunter and the Collins Hill Eagles there. Not the greatest memory, but, what a heck of a season we had, what a heck of a run we had, and, just so proud of the guys, Ben Reeves and the staff who have been able to carry the torch and take this thing to even newer heights.
Absolutely. Of course, Coach Clack, being a little bit modest, he did bring a state championship to Milton, and we're going to talk about those days gone by, as well as get his insight into this Milton Eagles team, which, of course, you still keep up with this guy, so we're really looking forward to your insight about what we can expect to see from the Eagles tonight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, this senior class, they were freshmen when I was there last, and kind of been around the world and back, and we've put roots back down in the Milton community, so I see these guys on a regular basis, and talking with the coaching staff and keeping up with them, and so real excited to be able to share some insight and some thoughts on what I expect to see here tonight.
Absolutely. I mentioned we're going to be on both YouTube and Facebook tonight. We got a lot of folks watching all over the world, and we enjoy all of your comments. Please chat with us tonight during the game. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you've got a youngster in the game, maybe one of the cheerleaders. However their connection is, we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to give them a shout-out as well as you. Well, Coach, let's get into some of the particulars of this game. Of course, Milton, defending state champions. Boy, they've got some playmakers, but so does Josh Niblett's Gainesville Red Elephants, who come into this game, of course. Man, they've been very close. I talked about Milton winning it all last year. Josh Niblett has had this team very close, knocking on the door his first two seasons, but coming up a little bit short, but they're making a pretty good run of it again this year in 5A.
No doubt. You don't have to look too far to see Coach Niblett's pedigree. I actually went and spent a little time with him one day when he was over at Hoover. I think it was 2019, and just super impressed by the way he runs his program, what he puts into it. I think it'll only be a matter of time before he's hoisting a trophy here in Georgia the same way he did in Alabama all those years.
Absolutely. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the brand new state-of-the-art facilities. Can you believe this place, Coach? We were talking about it. I've heard about it, Of course, I host the Coach Josh Niblett Show every Tuesday, which you guys can check at ITG Next Georgia, and he's been telling me about it. But it's one of those things, literally, you got to see it to believe it. And, boy, what a state-of-the-art, massive, beautiful facility this is that the Gainesville Red Elephants call home.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just brings back memories. I grew up not too far down the road from here in Winder, and I used to come to games here when my Winder Double G Bulldogs were playing the Red Elephants, and we'd play King of the Hill on this big hill that's right over there. And fast forward 2012, we're with West Forsyth, and we're playing on a different stadium and against Deshaun Watson and those guys. And I was doing a camp here this summer with QB Universe over at their unreal cover pavilion and complex over there as this construction was going on. I had no idea what it was going to be, and it is something special, that is for sure.
Hey, I tell you, guys, it rivals a lot of small college, maybe even some big college facilities, and we are proud to be here in the brand-new state-of-the-art press box here on the home side. I want to thank Adam Lindsay, Coach Josh Niblett, of course, the athletic director and head football coach, respectively, for Gainesville, for having us here tonight to do this exciting game. So let's talk a little bit about these two teams. Milton, again, team you're very familiar with. Luke Nickel, the quarterback. You and I were talking a little bit about him before the game. You think he is about as good as advertised and as good as there is in the state calling an offense for any football team. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts about Luke Nickel, the Miami commit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been watching Luke play since he was in 6th, 7th grade. My first memory of him was he would lead his 7th grade team down for a touchdown, turn around and play middle linebacker and end up sacking the other quarterback. So we knew he was going to be something special. He comes from a great family. His brother Jack was a 4-year starter for us, now playing at UAB. His dad played at Stanford and had a little cup of coffee in the NFL. So he comes from good genes. But I tell you,
good stock, huh?
Good stock. But I tell you, watching him last year in the playoffs, particularly the second half of the Colquitt game in the quarterfinals, and then in the semifinal game against Grayson, I just watched him blossom in front of our eyes. He's made of the right stuff. He's got it physically, but what he carries in his chest is probably the most important thing. There's nothing more important than him going out and winning this football game for his community and his players and his coaches. He's as good as advertised for sure.
You see certain players in certain games, of course, so we all had a chance to watch the playoffs last year. That is, if you don't get a chance to see Milton during the regular season. And I tell you, you could really see him having his coming out party in the playoffs. I think it was really in that come-from-behind playoff victory over Colquitt County.
I agree.
A very tough ball team, Jake really got, or Luke really got in a groove last year. He kind of took that game over, calling his own number several times. And I tell you, his physicality is what really jumped out at me in that game. Calling his own number, running for first downs, running over some defensive backs. That's when I thought, yeah, that's a winner there.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, how demoralizing when, I remember exactly what you're talking about. They went to an empty set, gave him the ability for a run-pass option, and I bet you they were wishing that he threw it a little more, because when he lowered his shoulder, you could just see him take the life out of that team, because he would lower it for 4, 5, 6, and those started turning into big gainers. And, when your quarterback's doing that, the entire team gets inspired and rallies around it. That is definitely the spearhead of this team, and it has been for the last 3 years.
Absolutely. Of course, last year, Milton 7A, Gainesville 6A. Of course, reclassification bumps Milton from 7A down to not 6A but 5A. Technically, it's a 1 classification drop, not really the 2, but still, they are really looking like they are in control so far this year in 6A, and now both these teams, in 5A, and now both these teams find themselves as region foes. And this game, in addition, of course, to being a battle between two Georgia heavyweights, is going to have a lot of ramifications in Region 7 5A tonight as far as who wins this game. They're going to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and what a tough region it is. You've got Milton, you've got Gainesville, you've also got Roswell in this region. I mean, it is, I think, undoubtedly the strongest top to bottom region. So one loss, and you still got a lot to go in this region. It can really put you, as we talk about, positioning yourselves for the playoffs and to make another run. So super, super important game here tonight. A lot on the table for sure.
All right, I promised that I'm going to give you guys some shout-outs. Big Mike's W says, what's up, Phil and ITG crew? Welcome aboard, Coach Clack. Says Big Mike's W. Taylor Redmond is watching us from Houston, Texas. Ty Redmond's big sister. Go Eagles. I wonder who she's going to be rooting for tonight.
I think we just found out.
Of course, now let's talk a little bit about the homestanding Gainesville Red Elephants. I mentioned they're 6-1 on the year. And by the way, both these teams come in absolutely red hot. You go back to the beginning of the year, as Gainesville started off with a big win against Marietta. Then they followed that up. And listen, they've had some tough cookies this year. They took on Moody out of Alabama, went over there, took the long bus ride over to Moody, Alabama, and beat Moody 31-7. They then came back, took on a tough Westlake Lions. We know how athletic Westlake is. They took care of business there, 41-7. Then defeated Lanier, Johns Creek, and Seckinger, their last 3 games. The only loss, the only blemish, and nothing to be ashamed of, because they're in pretty good company. Their only loss, a 45-16 defeat against Juju Lewis and the Carrollton Trojans. So a good year. Josh Niblett really got this team poised to have another sound year.
No doubt. Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of there when you go to Carrollton and lose one. And Juju is another one of those players that's highly touted. I think him and Luke both were in the Elite 11 competition this year. But yeah, I mean, week in and week out, Josh Niblett's going to have this team ready to go. I think it's going to be an unbelievable chess match tonight. Kind of like boxing, styles make fights. And I think this may be one of those games where the styles may make the fight tonight.
Well, why don't you go and take that a step further? Give us a little bit of insight from a coach's mentality and a coach's standpoint. What are going to be the keys on both sides for these teams? Take us inside that you're talking about, that chess match.
Well, I think first off, when I watch this Milton team, what jumps out to me for the last couple of years is just what Coach Willingham does with the defense. It is a very, very tough defense to figure out. And he's got the players. I mean, they're great on the back end. They've got SEC talent all over the field. But their box it's like a bunch of bees in there swarming around, and you never know when he's dialing up that pressure. So first thing is you cannot get one-dimensional, and we know Gainesville wants to run the ball. One thing that I think Gainesville will be leaning into is their shifts and motions and the way that they can move their sets. That is one great way to slow a defense down and make them think and communicate. So we'll look to see if they can establish the run and to create some good explosive play action there. If they can do that, we're going to be in for a great one. On the other side, I mean, it's just all about can Luke find his rhythm. There have been times when, for whatever reason, it seems like it takes them a minute to get going. If Gainesville can keep them, from the explosive plays early, those big playmakers that they got outside, if they can maybe make them one-dimensional and force some low percentage throws, then we may be in one of these things where it's a real tight game at half, and then we're going to see what type of adjustments are being made.
Man, I love the inside. One, of course, just love to have you up here with me. So glad that we were able to accommodate you tonight. But that's the kind of stuff that I think I and our viewers tonight are really going to like, is hearing your inside. And by all means, as we go forward tonight, tell us kind of, what you're seeing, the flow of things, maybe some adjustments that each team need to be making, and obviously we'll welcome that from you tonight.
Absolutely.
Also, of course, I know there's some folks who want to hear kind of where you have been and kind of since you left Milton and kind of where you're headed, and we'll let you get into that a little bit tonight throughout the broadcast.
Sounds good.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more about the Gainesville Red Elephants. I told you about the teams that they've played this year. And, of course, as Coach mentioned about some of the weapons for the Eagles, let's talk about these Gainesville Red Elephants. Kareem Hughley, the quarterback. He's 88 of 142 on the season. He's thrown for just over 1,600 yards. Here's quite the stat for you. 12 touchdowns, and through 7 games, Coach, no interceptions.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
That's hard to do.
That's fantastic. And I know he's a younger player too, so you can tell he's really being schooled up to take care of the football. I think a lot of that comes with having a great coaching staff. They're putting him in the position, to be able to make high percentage throws. But again, it's going to be about being able to stay two-dimensional in this game. I think the last thing they want is for him to have to sit back in the pocket and drop back 30 times tonight and throw against this Milton defense. So see if they can get that run game established.
Well, let's talk about that. Just as we talked about Hughley throwing the football, you're going to have Carmelo Bird. He is the senior. Boy, this is a senior-laden team, by the way, for the Red Elephants. Their two leading receivers, Jeremiah Ware, Taz Smith, both seniors, as is Carmelo Bird, the running back, and he's having a sensational year. I'd say balance when I look at both of these teams. And you talked a little about it just a couple of minutes ago, but I think both these teams are fairly balanced run to pass. Are they not? Talk a little bit more about that for me.
Yeah, they are. And it's funny that I'm glad you brought that back up, because I did feel remiss to not mention the running back room for Milton. Talking with running back coach Vinny Silvestri, he's talking how this is the deepest room he's ever had, led by T.J. Lester. But they've got a slew of guys in there that can tote the rock, and they've got some great tight ends now. They can go 13 personnel on you and really make it difficult with Babur there and Ryan G and a young Ricky Haviland who is picking up Division I looks, and I think he's got a Georgia Tech offer. So, they can trot out 6'6" across the board right there to block for those guys if they need to.
We mentioned Taylor Redmond. Again, she's going to be rooting for her brother Tyler tonight. He is one of 9 seniors on that Eagles defensive staff coach that are committed to play Power 4 football next year. That's pretty impressive.
It is, and you can tell when you watch them. It looks like there's 15 of them out there, I swear. The length and the speed that they play with just makes it really tough. I was actually talking with Coach Willingham the other day, and talking with an opponent that they had just played. He goes, man, you feel like there's openings and you feel like there's windows, and you just don't understand how fast they close playing you guys. So I can tell it watching it from here, and I'm sure watching it on film, it jumps off as well.
All right, so we've got Don't Believe the Hype. Says, let's go. Gainesville High School. Drew Cohen checking in. I'm tapped in watching my boys bring it home. So we do appreciate you guys checking out the broadcast. Again, chat with us tonight. Let us know where you're watching the game from. We'll give you a holler back. TV is here tonight. One of the reasons for the delayed start, in addition to us being here, what does that mean to a team, if anything? Is it disruptive to the schedule, or do you adapt? And talk a little bit about that, if there's any kind of disruption at all.
It shouldn't be. I think inexperienced staffs, inexperienced teams may get disrupted by that. But that's part of going out and playing in big events, going to Florida, traveling to Alabama, traveling to these different places, playing in things like the Corky Kell. Those type of things prepare you for adjusted starts. I'd be honest, I feel like an early start sometimes is probably the harder thing to overcome. So I think you're definitely going to see their best punches tonight. I don't think the 30 minutes is going to be a big deal for these two guys.
Of course, Gainesville, as many stadiums have now, they've got the elaborate light show. And in case you guys were just wondering, no, that was nothing wrong with our camera, but they completely shut the lights off here at Bobby Grun Field. So that's the reason that it went completely dark.
I'm waiting on Inner Sandman to play. That feels like I'm coaching back at South Carolina again right there.
All right, so we're getting ready to get it underway. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. My man Obadiah Nuclear, one Farley, Thomas County Central's #1 fan, is checking in with us tonight. Thanks so much, Obadiah. Stu Dorsey says there's a loss coming for GHS. Whoa, already you guys out there doing that trash talking. So one thing's for sure, the talking is done. It's time to get ready to play some football, Coach.
Absolutely.
You ready to go?
Absolutely. Hey, another thing to watch out for, this Milton Special Teams unit has always created some problems for other teams. It'll be interesting to see what they have up their sleeves tonight.
All right, so back deep, we got Jeremiah Ware, Taz Smith. I just talked about those guys. They're the two leading receivers for the Red Elephants. They're also back ready to receive this kick, which is going to come first from Milton. What kind of kicking game does Milton have? Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, I know they're very solid in the the kicking game, in the sense of making the kicks that they should make. Like I was alluding to the other just a minute ago, there's normally always something they have up their sleeve, whether it be a fake punt, whether it be a special block on the punt unit. So
always got to be on your toes.
Always got to be on your toes. Something that I know those guys take a lot of pride in.
One of the best in the business, Alex Nover, is set to kick it away, and here we go. Going to be taken from the 2, across the 10, 15.
Wow.
Big hit on special teams right there at the 20-yard line. Making the tackle that time, number 3, Micaiah Jones, it looks like.
I think that shows you a little bit of that team speed right there. It looked like there was a little bit of an opening right there, and it closed so fast. Just a very solid tackle right there. Ball's at the 20.
All right, Coach Clark mentioned it earlier. Kareem Hughley's a youngster. He's first-year starter coming out for the Red Elephants. He's going to bring the offense up. They're going to start 1st and 10 from their own 20. One receiver out wide to the far side. Now they'll bring bunch formation. 2 receivers split out here on the near side. Man in motion. Going over to the far side. That Smith going to join Ware over there. They want to throw it on the first play. And no, it's going to be a sack. Oh, there's that pressure you talked about earlier. What a big play defensively right out of the gate, Coach.
Right out of the gate. And I don't hate the idea there. Spread them out and see if you can get something quick off. They went from a tight set to an empty set there. But Milton was ready for it.
All right, so 2nd and long now after the sack. Going to be inside the 10-yard line. Gainesville starting in a hole. Quick toss, complete. He's breaking away from one tackle, but can't get away from another one. However, going to get it all the way out to the 27, 28-yard line. Big gain that time. So Gainesville coming right back with the quick strike. They're going to be now 3rd and a very makeable situation here.
Absolutely, and they're going with a little bit of tempo here. What an answer right there. Last place you want to be is 3rd and long against this defense. Now you got your full playbook back.
All right, so 3rd, we'll call it 4, needed for the first. They're going to throw it. Incomplete. Pass intended that time for Taz Smith, so they decided to try to throw it on 3rd down. Coach, it's going to be an early punting situation as the Milton defense comes up big.
Comes up big, and like I said, we're going to watch this special teams close right here. Big opportunity to change the game. A great stand there by the Milton defense.
All right, so kick, high kick. They're going to let it bounce and going to run out of bounds. And so Milton is going to start with good field position right there around midfield, Coach.
I think this might tell you a little bit about the game plan right here. What do they do right here midfield? Are they feeling excited here and wanting to go up top first play, or are they going to try to get the run game established and just stick with their game plan?
You're going to see them start right at midfield. So great starting field position for Milton on their first offensive possession. Don't believe the hype. Is watching from the Dominican Republic. He says, I'm from Gainesville, Georgia, though. So appreciate you guys going live with this game. This is a game everybody's been watching or waiting for. So thanks so much for watching us. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Going to see Milton on offense for the first time tonight. The much heralded Luke Nickel. Going to take the high snap. He'll pull it down. Big run over the right side, Coach. Taking it over the 40. That's about a 13-yard gain.
Well, like we talked about right there, they're using their tight ends as a 12 personnel set. They shifted into an unbalanced look, give it a real strong run look, and they ran right behind those big guys.
That was number 2, Tristan Payne. on the carry, so it's going to be a first down. Milton already in business. My apologies, that was 21, T.J. Lester. So Lester on a big first down run. Now Lester will switch to Nickel's right hip. Nickel wants to throw. Looks, got all day. Got a man wide open. And Milton's going to strike for a touchdown, Coach.
Classic quarters beater right there. They ran a scissors concept, took the safety out with a corner, and then Borbor comes back with a little skinny post right there, wide open.
Ethan, is it Barbour, how you
Yep.
say it? Ethan Barbour with the catch. Man, let me tell you, he was wide open, Coach. Got behind the Gainesville secondary. Easy pitch and catch that time.
Hats off to Stevie Jackson, the Milton offensive coordinator, and how about that protection right there? You know, that's the only risk with running plays like that is it takes a little bit to develop.
Here's the point after attempt from Mr. Automatic, Alex Nover. So just like that, Milton strikes quickly, 7-0. Boy, what does that say about this Milton offense, Coach? What a quick strike.
Well, we said early, you know, you wanted to try to keep them from getting in rhythm, and I think we saw a little bit of rhythm on that first drive. Love the way they started with a heavy set there to get the run game going, and as soon as they got that first down, you know, it was shot time, and they were able to connect.
Again, big thanks to our friends at Farrah and Farrah. Go to farrandfarrah.com to find the Georgia office of Farrah and Farrah closest to you. And also a big thanks to our friends at Northeast Georgia Physicians Group, sponsoring tonight's game. So right out of the gate, guys, we've got Milton up 7-0. Still a lot of time left to be played. No panic time, though, for Josh Niblett.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You actually had a lot of positives in that first drive to have the sack and come back and get yourself in a position to get the first down.
All right, here's Nover going to kick this one away. And this one's going to go through the end zone for a touchback. So we're going to see Gainesville go back on offense for the second time tonight. And this will be their second offensive possession. Their first chance went 3 and out.
Be interesting to see here if they try to slow the game down a little bit, or if they continue to go and maybe they feel like tempo is a way to get something established. But, you know, definitely wanting to answer here with at least a drive, a couple of first downs to let their players kind of get settled in here and take a little bit of that momentum away from Milton.
Hey, we talked about Kareem Hughley now. 12 touchdowns, no interceptions. So that's something to keep an eye on. So they're not going to be afraid to let him air it out if indeed that's what they decide to do here with their second possession. Play action. Hughley going to roll out, looking, going to throw, incomplete.
Yeah, we're going to have a flag.
Oh, they're going to call interference, it looks like, on Redmond. We were just talking about him earlier. One of the corners going to be playing on Saturdays next year. Coach, what'd you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, really good coverage. I think he may have got there just a little early. You know, if you're Milton right now, you're okay with that. You want to make them make those calls. I think it was a good call, though. Good aggressive call there on first down by Coach Niblett.
All right, so second down. 10 needed for the first. Just underway. Thanks so much for being with us. ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week.
And they picked it up.
Oh, they did. How about that? Yeah, you know what? I was kind of questioning the call. It looked like it was pretty good coverage to me, Coach.
Yeah, I thought it was good coverage. It was definitely there on time, if not a bit early, but I like the no call there.
Yeah, so they picked it up. So second down and 10. Milton's defense looking pretty aggressive early here. Just underway, first quarter. Hughley going to take the snap. They'll go back to the run. A little bit of running room here. Right side breaks a tackle. Trying to shake another one. Not able to get away from Redmond that time. But
that's a great tackle by Redmond.
It really was, wasn't it? Carmelo Bird, the senior, on the carry. And going to bring up should be a third down here.
It should be.
Yard marker still says second if they picked up that flag. Coach, I've got third down and about 4. Little swing pass out in the flat. Boy, great defensive
There's that
Coverage,
speed.
though. Oh, my goodness.
There's that speed.
Count the white shirts. Take your pick. There's a late flag now. Watch that. Got some chatting going on after the play. Let's see who that's going to go against. Coach, I thought that was third down, but
I did too. I didn't see the call, why they would have waved it off and then just replayed first down. I'm not quite sure.
All right, so we're going to wait and see what that is, as well as this particular flag. Here comes the crew chief to give us the call. Dead ball, personal foul. Going to go against Milton. So that's a break.
That's a break, and those are the things that Coach Reeves is going to be on his guys about. You know you're playing in a hostile environment. You know there's going to be a lot of eyes on. They're going to keep this game under control, so you got to control your emotions there. There's an opportunity to get off the field, and you just gave them life.
All right, so Charles Polk told us it was offsetting flags, so they didn't pick it up. Okay, so there we go. So that explains that. But that is not offsetting. That is a personal foul of the 15-yard variety, so that's going to give Gainesville a new set of downs and pretty good field position now, 1st and 10 up at their own 37. Higley wants to throw. Again, under pressure. Throws across the middle. Missed his target. Incomplete, wide of the intended receiver.
I like the idea of going empty there and trying to spread this Milton team out, but you got to understand you're going to have to find that read early and throw it on time, because you're only going to have so much time back there in the pocket. Shane
King, the intended receiver that time for the Red Elephants. I thought they've had some pretty good success running the football. Let's see if they go back to that here, Coach. 2nd down.
Yeah, they had a nice little counter scheme off the right side there early. Let's see if they come back with it.
Lone back. Now you got a couple of men in motion. Boy, we see that a lot from Gainesville. And seeing it a lot here early on.
Back to their counter scheme.
Yep, here they go. Stretching it out. But again, great coverage that time by the Milton defense. Boy, they stretched it out really well. And you talked about that speed, and we saw it there from the white shirts, Coach.
Yeah, one thing you'll see is they're really trying to make everything bounce. So they're going to try to take away those interior gaps. We call it wrong shoulder the block right there when you get a gap scheme run coming at you to try to bounce it out so that your speed can take over.
A.J. Benton, the inside linebacker, and Lawson Estes coming up to make the tackle. So 3rd down. 3rd and 10 still needed for Gainesville. 3 receivers far side. There's 2 here to the near side. Going to be an empty backfield this time for Hughley, who takes the snap. But we've got whistles. Coach, what you got?
You saw Milton bringing up that pressure right there, walking up. Maybe they got somebody to jump.
So back them up 5.
Back them up 5. Like I said, man, Coach Willingham just has this knack for being able to dial pressure up at the right time. We had an empty set there, and it looks like they were bringing at least 5. So they were going to force him to get that ball out quick.
All right, so going to bring up 3rd and 15 now. We're just underway. 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Milton struck on just their 2nd play of their first offensive possession. This is Gainesville's 2nd time that they've had the ball on offense. And they've got it 3rd and 15. Coach, what you got?
3rd and long. That's not where you want to be on your side of the field. You're going to have to be smart with the football here.
Hughley looking to throw. Toss across the middle. Got a man open. He's breaking away. There he goes. Taking it to the 40. That's a big play for Gainesville. But there's a penalty flag down, Coach.
Great scheme right there. A little delayed slant underneath the coverage.
Looks like he's going to be coming back.
Maybe we got a hold back here.
The home fans showing their displeasure. No surprise. Well, it was a big hit and play that time, Coach.
That was. And, yeah, that's the things that just kill you on offense when you finally get a little success there and you pick up a big 3rd down and you look down and there's laundry on the field.
So both these teams committing penalties early here. Milton able to work around theirs, but for Gainesville, Coach, that's a big one. 3rd and got to get it to coming for a 1st down.
We are back to the original line of scrimmage.
Wow, back at the 20-yard line. Let's see what Gainesville decides to do here. They're going to launch one long downfield, one-on-one, but great coverage over there on that far side.
I believe that's Dylan Lewis.
Yeah. Dylan Lewis, indeed. Boy, he was with him stride for stride, wasn't he?
Yeah, man. It was just outstanding coverage there. Nowhere to go with the ball. Great job not panicking when the ball's in the air and A lot of times you see DBs, they'll panic a little bit and they'll grab when they don't have to. So really good job by him just letting that one play out. He knew he was in good coverage.
So Gainesville got to punt it away. Good coverage that time by the Gainesville special teamers. They'll get down there and make the tackle right away on number 28. That's Kevin Maver Winchester.
So here you go now. As the game sets in a little bit, you see Gainesville's constantly starting in their own end. They've started on the 20 both times. And Milton here at midfield again. That's a great place to be, obviously. Offense can come out being very, very confident and aggressive here.
Charles Pope says throwing jump balls ain't going to get it done. Well, when you're third and a mile, not much you can do. All right, here we go. Milton back on offense. They lead at 7-0. They've got it now at their own 40 after the punt. Luke Nickel going to take it. He'll hand it off, running room here left side. But Gainesville's defenders come up and make the tackle pretty quickly, leading the way that time for the Red Elephants, number 97, Bailey Brandon.
Milton going a little tempo here.
Yeah, here's Milton, no huddle. Coach, what you got? Call it.
Going a little no huddle, probably going to take a shot.
Nickel going to roll, looks, throws, got a man open, complete, right on the sideline. But what a great pass that was, Coach.
Yeah, and it's a pretty targeted throw, too, right there, too. C.J. Wiley is one of the best in the country. He is a problem against any defense.
C.J. Wiley, the FSU commit. I mentioned earlier there's a bunch of them on both sides of the ball that'll be playing on Saturdays next year. Here's Nickel and the Milton offense back ready. A nice hole, stutter step there, Coach, to get through the initial hole, and he took it for about another 5 yards.
That's a great job of following your blocks and being patient right there. We saw the same counter scheme that Gainesville was running earlier, and both teams are trying to get that thing to bounce out. Great job by the back right there, letting it develop in front of him and getting it in there for a good tough 4 yards.
All right, so 2nd down and 6. Now Milton, they're in control. They're on the move. They lead at 7-0, and here they come again inside the Gainesville 35-yard line.
It's your one-on-one matchup up here to the top.
Let's see, Nickel looking that way. Going to throw it long, Coach. What you got? Got a man open.
Yeah,
he overshot him.
He got held. He got held right there.
So is that going to be our flag?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he had a step on him. DB probably made a touchdown save and hold right there, if I'm honest with you.
That's one there where, hey, I'll take the penalty instead of the 6, right?
That's right. I was talking about the patience of the back earlier. Right there, I'm seeing the patience of the quarterback, being able to navigate his pocket right there and let those downfield routes develop. Again, I was talking Gainesville's playing what's called a quarter scheme. So if you can get these routes to develop, you can run people out of areas and replace them.
5:55 left to go in the first quarter. Milton leads at 7-0. They've got a first down at about the Gainesville 23-yard line. New set of downs. Here's Luke Nickel. Wants to throw. Got a man open. Touchdown! Milton.
That is just a big-time throw. Putting it right there on the back shoulder, sitting him down. Just can't say enough. Just can't say enough about that young man.
Tristan Payne on the touchdown reception, Coach. And right now, the Milton offense, well, they're clicking on all cylinders, aren't they?
Well, I think they answered my question that I had coming in. Were they going to be aggressive, or were they just going to try to establish kind of more of a methodical pace of play? They're doing a good job of keeping it balanced.
Alex Nover sticks it up and good. It's 14-0, Coach. Gainesville got to come back with something here. They're down by 2 touchdowns early.
Yeah, right now you don't panic. It's still the first quarter, okay? And you've had some good things on offense. You just got to stay away from the negatives. First series, there was a negative on a big sack. The second series, they had a big negative on the big play where they got the holding call. So it would be great to see if they can establish a little something right here. They need it now, obviously.
Northeast Georgia Physicians Group, want to remind you, the wait is over. We know injuries can happen when you least expect it. That's why Northeast Georgia Physicians Group Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine is here for you with a new walk-in clinic at Medical Plaza in Buford. No more waiting for appointments. Our clinic is open 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. 5 days a week. We're ready to provide the care you need it when you need it. Whether it's a sprain, strain, or any other orthopedic concern, Our expert team is here to identify, treat, and care for your injury. So if you find yourself in need of orthopedic care, don't wait. Visit our walk-in clinic at Medical Plaza at 44 South Lee Street in Beaufort. For more information, visit the website ngpg.org/ortho. Walk-in clinic. Get the relief you need when you need it. Visit us today. Northeast Georgia Physicians Group, Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine in Beaufort. One of our game sponsors tonight, along with our friends at Farrah and Farrah, who want to remind you it's Friday night. It's where student athletes compete with everything on the line, chasing greatness and forging unbreakable bonds. It's where entire communities unite under the lights to witness passion, pride, and moments that will be etched in their memories forever. This is football. It's high school football, and there's no tradition quite like it. Just like these athletes, Farrah and Farrah puts it on the line every day for their clients, which is why Farrah and Farrah proudly supports high school football and proud supporter of our ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week all season long. Go to farrandfarrah.com to find the Georgia office of Farrah and Farrah closest to you. Bill Jones, Coach Adam Clack, former Milton head football coach with you. 14-0, Coach. Still a lot of football left to be played, but right now, Milton in complete control.
Yeah, so what's probably going through your mind right now, as we talked earlier, the MO of Gainesville is to come out and get that run game established. Well, obviously Milton knows that too. So a lot of times you go in and, kind of like a pitcher, you pitch backwards. So it looked like they came out wanting to throw the ball a little bit, and you had your big sack. So now you're playing from behind the sticks. Now you're 14 points down.
Lee County, 22, Coffee 7. We're going to watch that game tonight with a lot of interest. Valdosta up on Colquitt 7-0. That one just underway. Down at Bazemore Hyder in Valdosta. Some of your comments coming in tonight. Charles Pope. Phil, hate to sound repetitive. I'm a Beaufort parent, so I don't care who wins, but I'm here for good football and the great broadcasting. Thank you. Charles, thank you for that, brother. We appreciate that. Kimberly Nicely says, come on, Gainesville. She's trying to root her red elephants on, man.
Pull them through. But now, like I was saying, now you're 14 points down. Do you go back to the run, or do you feel like you're slipping away? So what I would love to see, and I see Milton taking it away, is them to try to get that quarterback in rhythm with some good, easy throws. But a couple times on those boots, the Milton Eagles are all over the flat routes and forcing him to throw those intermediates. So let's see what they dial up here in drive number 3, down 14.
That's the wonderful insight we're getting from former Milton head football coach Adam Clack, who is with us tonight here on the broadcast. Going to be another touchback this time. So we're going to see Gainesville, third time on offense tonight. Coach, I'm going to put you in the shoes of Josh Niblett right here. You're the guy. You're down 14-0. What do you tell your team? What do you do?
So, again, that's kind of what I was speaking to earlier. You got to get your quarterback in rhythm, but you also got to establish some ground game here. I would not be surprised to come out and see them go back to the run game here, or either some type of really quick, just underneath throw to just try to get something positive here on first down.
All right, so there you hear it from the coach. Let's see if that's what Niblett and the Red Elephant coaching staff dial up here. They find themselves down 14-0. Quick hitter out here on the near side. It's complete, but here comes that fast defense. And, boy, the corner coming up and just would not let – Ty Redmond would not let the receiver get away.
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit of a misread right there. It's a little RPO and threw it out there with an extra guy there. So – one thing you can't do against this defense is dance around. That's gonna end badly for you.
Eric Sanders. Phil, I'm enjoying great high school football with a Pepsi. Of course, a nod to Pepsi Cola, sponsor of our weekly podcast, Extra Point with Phil Jones. Setting up the screen here. Now he's got some blockers in front of him. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, boy, again, Milton's great defense. I thought that was going to open up for something bigger there. As it is, it's a positive game, but
great play call, great execution, but even, just a better execution by the defender to be able to split 2 blocks right there and make a great open field tackle, because that not only had the recipe for a first down, that had a recipe for another 10, 15 yards if he gets by that.
Absolutely. You may can hear it in the background. The big elephant is going off. They sound off the elephant sound. What do you call that? The elephant, what is that? what's the sound the elephant makes? I don't know. The roar.
That's getting me outside my comfort zone.
I hear you, brother. All right, not a must-make, but, boy, this is important. 3rd and short. Oh, what a throw and catch! Oh, that's a beautifully done pass and catch that time, Coach.
Wow.
And that is a huge first down for the Red Elephants.
Huge throw right there. I'm sitting here in my mind saying, why are you throwing it so far on 3rd and 3? And he made me look silly.
So now Gainesville going to go with a little bit of tempo here. Play action, throws, quick hitter, complete. Give him about 6 yards. Gainesville, I'm sure they're going to want to keep this tempo going here, Coach.
I would stay with it. I would continue on its heels.
And are we going to have a timeout here, or what do we got?
I think Milton was trying to substitute in, and then I got a sideline warning.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. Well, that that hurts because it kills your tempo right there. So that's one of those little things that don't show up in the box score. But I guarantee you, coach is going to be upset about that one.
I hear you. All right, so sideline warning, no penalty.
No, not on the first one.
Gotcha. All right, they're going to go back to the run game. Going to take it up close and to the yard marker for a first down.
I like that. Go ahead and get that first down. Don't try to get too cute right there and get behind the sticks.
Yeah.
Now you're in 4-down territory. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a shot dialed up right here. If not on first down, maybe on second down. You want to try to get this thing towards the end zone at some point.
We love the insight. Coach Clack has given us this only a state champion head football coach can give you. So 1st and 10, here comes Gainesville. Yeah, they're down 14-0, but still plenty of time left. We've got over 3 minutes, 3:37 in fact, to go in the opening quarter.
Here come back to the run
Gainesville.
here.
Coach says look for the run play. Let's see if that's indeed what we get running behind that big offensive line. Play action, going to quick toss out here. Wide receivers got it. Boy, there's another great tackle. Coach, let's talk about Milton. Boy, they're great tacklers.
Great tacklers.
Yeah, they do a great job of wrapping up. How important is that? How many times do we see broken tackles result in big gains?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, as simple as it sounds, football comes down to tackling and blocking. At the end of the day, if you can tackle well and block well, you're going to be in a lot of ball games. And right now we see them definitely getting that tackling piece of it.
Absolutely. All right, 3rd down. Boy, this is a big one here. 3rd down. Empty backfield. Quarterback draw. He's got a first down. He'll slide down at the 15. Love the call that time.
Love that call. You've been empty about 3 or 4 times, and they've really brought some aggressive pressure. So taking advantage right there. Playing a little jiu-jitsu. Go against it.
So Hughley calling his own number that time. Boy, it parted like the Red Sea did the Milton defense, and Hughley took advantage of it. It's a first down. Here comes Gainesville now. Their first real threat of the night, Coach.
And this will be interesting to see as we get down in the red zone, as this field shrinks.
1st and 10 at the Milton 17. Going to a little RPO that time. Going to stick it in the gut of the back, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to use quarterback's legs a little more right there. It's going to be tough, in this short red area. When the field is constricted and the safeties are closer, it makes it even tougher to get those yards inside. Sometimes you're just going to have to, play off maybe an over-aggressive end right there and quarterback call his own number.
All right, here we go. Let's see if Gainesville, they lose a yard on that play. So 2nd down 11 now. One receiver far side. And over here in the slot, now you got a man in motion going right to left. Hughley looks. Good protection. Got all day. Now he's going to chase out of the pocket. Now he's under pressure. Now he's going to get rid of it. Throwing it to the end zone. Jump ball, but out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, great effort there by the quarterback. Being patient, getting out of a little bit of trouble there, but not putting the ball in jeopardy. Probably got 4 downs here. It'd be interesting to see how Coach Niblett plays it if we get to 4th down. I don't think field goals are going to win this game, but maybe you just want to get on the scoreboard, So see how they handle this 3rd down. Could be something where they're just trying to pick up half and make it a manageable 4th.
All right, so here we go. It's a big play here. Coach just talked about it. Let's see what they do. Bunch set on that far side. Hughley directing traffic now. They're going to hand it off. Got a little bit of running room, left side.
That tells me what I needed to know there. He's got a 4th down call he's ready for.
So, will they shoot for the field goal, do you think? Or, as you mentioned, this is 4 down territory, you think?
Yeah, I think that run right there, well, let's see. No, I guess they are bringing the field goal unit out.
Yep, I think so. So, we're going to see the Gainesville Red Elephants going to send in Francisco Johnson, the junior, going to try this one. The hold's going to come just outside the 20. We'll call it the 21, so a 31-yard field goal attempt here, Coach. We'll all watch it together. Here's the snap. Hold. Kick is up. And the kick is true from 31 yards away. So that puts points on the board, Coach, and that gives Gainesville something positive to build off of.
Yeah, no, and I was talking about potentially going forward on 4th down there, and I think had it been 4th and 5 or less, probably would have seen him go for it there. But since we were 4th and 7, getting something positive right there can be huge to settle the team down a little bit. You don't want to have that great drive and come away with nothing. So I like the decision there. I'm sure he was hoping they would have popped a little more on that 3rd down run. But that's where you got to understand, like you've said many times tonight, there's still a lot of football left.
Absolutely. So 14-3, the score. Again, a lot of football still to be played. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week. I'm Phil Jones, former Milton head football coach Adam Clack with me tonight. We appreciate him joining us for tonight's live stream. So I guess if you're Milton, you don't want to let up off the gas here. I mean, we're not going to see them go conservative, are we?
Absolutely not. What will be interesting, though, depending on the coverage here, this could be the first time that Milton starts outside of the 40. So, they've had unreal field position to start this game, which gives you a lot of confidence in your play calling. So let's see kind of how this goes. And
23.9 seconds left to go in the first.
That ball's kind of set up awkwardly here.
Well, we got a little trickery here. No, they're going to boot it away. Going to be returnable from the 1. A little bit of running room, taking it up to about the 25-yard line. Now here comes a bunch of black shirts in to make the tackle, but Milton going to put it in play after the nice return of about 24 yards that time from Kevin Maven Winchester, the senior.
And we're talking about what Milton might do on offense. I think the more interesting question is, what does Gainesville do now on defense? We've seen twice they've sat in coverage and not been able to get pressure on Luke with 4. Do they start dialing up a little bit of pressure here to try to see if they can turn the tables? But again, the catch-22 with that is you've got those incredible receivers out there. So if you're bringing pressure, that means you're leaving somebody one-on-one. So that defensive coordinator spot is not a fun place to be right now.
Luke Nickel, over 1,500 yards passing, 16 touchdowns coming into the game. Wants to look, wants to throw, being chased out of the pocket. Now he'll throw. That's a smart decision there. Really didn't have much of anything developing, Coach. He just got rid of it. Smart play.
Yeah, looked like his first read was taken way down here. Good coverage to the trip side. Got a little bit of pressure on him, so he rolls out and just made a smart play. Let's play second down.
Guys, you can hear myself and Coach Josh Niblett every week here at ITG Next Georgia, the Josh Niblett Gainesville Coaches Show. Every week we talk about the games, both past and future. We'll talk about this one coming up this week. Going to go back to the run play.
Oh, that's a
nice
great
play that time by Gainesville. Big number 97. Brandon Bailey. Boy, you read that one nice, didn't you?
Yeah, he came through there pretty much unblocked. And, sometimes you see on those plays the guys get there so fast they almost shock themselves and don't make the play in the backfield. But he was as sure as could be bringing the ball carrier down there.
We have reached the end of the first quarter, and it ends on a positive note for Gainesville. We've played one here at Bobby Grun Field at City Park in Gainesville with the homestanding Red Elephants trailing at 14-3. You're watching the ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week coming to you tonight from Gainesville. I'm Phil Jones. Joining tonight is the former head football coach of the Milton Eagles, Adam Clack. Adam, there are folks that will say that this whole thing with the empire, as Coach Sly likes to call it, it all started with you as you brought a state championship back in 2018, played for another one a couple of years later. Talk about the great history there at Milton and what it took to build this program up.
Well, it definitely didn't start with me. It started with us. A lot of those guys on the sideline, many of them were still part of that staff that we were able to put together. And,
sure.
And you mentioned a very key cog of the entire thing, and that was the athletic director, Coach Sly. He's the one who started the empire. He started that branding of that, and I was just, fortunate to be kind of in that right place, right time. Had a very shared vision of bringing this Milton football program to a national prominence. And, a lot of hard work went into it, a lot of people pulling in the right direction, and just so much fun to watch them continue that success. And like I said earlier, taking it to even newer heights. So couldn't be more proud of that group of guys to continue to lead this program.
Big thanks to Farrah and Farrah, personal injury attorneys, and our friends at Northeast Georgia Physicians Group, presenting tonight's game here in Gainesville. All right, as we get ready to start quarter number 2, big play here, third down, third and 12 for the Milton Eagles as we start quarter number 2, Coach.
You never say it's a must-have right here, but it would be really demoralizing if they can't get them off the field here on 3rd and 12.
All right, here's nickel now. Obvious
Pressure
passing situation, you would think, Coach.
A little pressure look.
Long count this time. Nichols got it. Looks. Chased out of the pocket. Going to throw it downfield. It's a jump ball. It's intercepted by Gainesville. 50, 40, 35, 30. Oh, that's the play that the Red Elephants needed, Coach.
Just like that. Just like that. Hey, really love what I saw on defense right there. They gave a clear pressure look, dropped out. Confused the blocking scheme, got pressure on Luke, and he makes an ill-advised throw there, just putting one up. Now you're giving this team some momentum, and now they have the starting field position that Milton was blessed with in the first quarter.
So the interception brought back from the 40.
We got a flag.
Oh, we do have a penalty flag. Let's check the call here. We'll wait on the white hat to give us the call. Coach, I didn't see it. Now Gainesville's acting like it may be on Milton, but let's wait and see what we got here. Here's the call. Personal foul. That was going to go against Gainesville. Coach, what is that?
I think we saw a blindside block, maybe right there, which is something. Back in 2017, I remember that big initiative being put out, and these guys call it really well, really consistently. Health of the game, something we had to coach out of our guys, I tell you. And you see it a lot on those turnovers or big special teams plays when you get blocking behind the ball, and you get a blindside block, and and it can bring back a big play right there.
So man, that is a huge penalty. Now the interception stands, so Gainesville will have the football. But instead of having it deep in Milton territory,
now it's just like a punt.
Yeah, they're going to start instead at their own 27. That is huge. But Gainesville's got it back. They trail it 14-3. That was the first play of the second quarter. So we're just underway now. Gainesville, their first chance with the football here in quarter number 2. Going to stick to the run, and boy, just nowhere to go there, Coach.
If they keep making it bounce, it's going to be tough to get that running game going. I would love to see him stay behind his pads right there and get something, get 2, get 3, get some tough yardage, because bouncing it outside on this team speed is not going to be the answer.
So you're saying maybe north-south style run, and it could be more effective here.
North-south, and I'm sure that's what the play was designed to do, and there's a defense out there trying to stop it right now.
All right, 5 receiver set here, empty backfield for Hughley here, who's got it, looking, chased out of the pocket now. He's going to sail one
got a man
down the middle. Got a man wide open. He got behind the Milton defense, and he's going to score. Do we have any flags?
And now we got a ball game, guys. That was impressive by the young quarterback right there. Breaking right, had the awareness to look back. The entire defense lost their their responsibility there because of the movement of the quarterback, and he was able to find a guy sneaking behind him.
73-yard touchdown pass. Goes to Jeremiah Ware, and just like that, we've got a ball game. Point after attempt now coming up. And let's see what we got here. Got a penalty flag. Got movement, I think, on Gainesville.
So we've seen now about 4 different times of Gainesville using the aggressiveness of Milton against them. You know, one with the screen, then the quarterback draw, those little delay passes that they're attempting, and then there with an off-script play, but still nonetheless using the aggressiveness of Milton against them. So look out for that to continue.
So push the extra point back a few yards. It'll come from the 15 now. So it's a 25-yard point after attempt, but it's still good. And so now, boy, what was a 14-0 game literally minutes ago, Coach, is now 14-10.
That's right, and that's how fast it can turn. And that's why we keep saying a lot of football left. It will be, very interesting to see how now that the Milton offense responds after finally, getting put off the field, having to start in reasonable field position, as the Gainesville defense would say. So we really got a ball game setting in here now, Phil.
Absolutely. Guys, big shout out to our friends at Farrah & Farrah who want to remind you it's Friday night. It's where student athletes compete with everything on the line, chasing greatness and forging unbreakable bonds where entire communities unite under the lights to witness passion, pride, and moments that will be etched in their memories forever. This is football. It's high school football, and there's no tradition quite like it. Just like these athletes, Farrah & Farrah puts it on the line every day for their clients. That's why Farrah & Farrah proudly supports high school football. Go to farrandfarrah.com to find the Georgia office of Farrah & Farrah closest to you. Also, a big shout out to Northeast Georgia Physicians Group. If you're in the Northeast Georgia area, maybe around Beaufort, Gwinnett County, Hall County, I want to remind you, Northeast Georgia Physicians Group has now got the walk-in clinic at Medical Plaza in Beaufort. They're on 44 South Lee Street in Beaufort. So if you find yourself in need of orthopedic care, no need to wait. There's no appointments necessary. Just walk in and receive top-notch care from our skilled providers. For more information, go to ngpg.org/ortho walk-in clinic. All right, 14-10, Coach. Got a brand new ball game, and boy, things can change on a dime, can't they?
Things can change on a dime, and now it's kind of like a new game, So let's see if this Gainesville defense has found a little something to slow the offense down, or if this Milton offense can just get back to, kind of methodically moving it.
Devontae Sturdivant says, I'm here live. Devontae, we've got you. Thanks so much for checking out our live stream tonight. This is returnable from the 4-10. Look out, there's a hole there. Gainesville comes up nicely, though, to close it in a hurry, but about a 20-yard return, and Milton going to start on offense from their own 22-yard line in a brand-new game, Coach, 14-10.
Brand new game. You see life on this Gainesville sideline right here. So be a critical drive. Can Milton re-seize that momentum, or does Gainesville continue to build on it?
All right, so here we go. We're just underway, second quarter. Adam Clack is in the studio with us. You want to give a shout-out to Coach Clack? Got a question for the former Milton coach? Send it his way. He'll be happy to answer your question, respond to your comment. 10:49 left to go, first half. Run play, nice gain, 5-6 yards. So Milton just slowing it down here.
I like that call. I love that call right there. Just let it settle down. You've had success running the football. Nothing wrong with handing the thing off a few times right here and getting a first down to settle this thing down a little bit.
All right, so now ball's out at the 26-yard line. So we'll give him 4 on that play. Second down, 6 needed for the first. Nickel takes the high snap down. Running room here on the right side. Going to take it across the 30 to about the 31-yard line.
I tell you, I've been going on and on about the Milton speed on defense, but that was outstanding speed by that Gainesville team right there. There was a crease off the side, and it closed in a hurry, and that was an outstanding play by, I believe, the safety right there coming down to make that tackle.
Gainesville assistants, they're down there giving their defense all kind of signals. You got some guys down there telling this crowd here at Bobby Grunfield to get up and make some noise.
Look out for Luke Nickel calling his own number right here.
Empty backfield. Wouldn't be surprised to see the big guy, as Coach just said, call his own number, and there he goes. Off the left side. He'll have the first down. Coach, he needed about a yard. Coach, you saw that coming. You called it. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you spread them out a little bit, but you still keep tight ends in the backfield so you can still control the box. You got a quarterback like Luke who you feel very good as anybody on the team of being able to lower his shoulder and get one or two. That's a big first down right there. You do not want a 3-and-out.
Absolutely.
After Gainesville rolls 10 unanswered.
Absolutely. And, boy, that's just another weapon that Luke gives you. He's a great thrower, but he can also run it with some authority, as we were talking about in the pregame. So new set of downs now for Milton. That's a fumble. It's a fumble that's on the turf, but I think Milton able to get back on it, Coach.
I've seen it a couple times. There has been some issues with the snap. That's about the third one there. It looks like Luke's had a little trouble handling. So maybe some nerves setting in, maybe, a little bit of excitement. We got to calm that down.
TJ Lester with a heads-up play there, Coach. He was able to get back on that ball, or it could have been disastrous for Milton.
I mean, that would have been, getting the ball right there on the 30 for Gainesville. That would have just set this place on fire, I believe.
8:36 to go in the first half. It's 14-10. Milton still leading it, but this momentum may be in the corner of Gainesville right now. Got a man wide open, but he dropped it at the sticks. Coach, got to make that play.
Man, I tell you, that's a fantastic job of Luke stepping up and finding the open man, putting a strike on it. I talk about blocking and tackling. Catching the football is another fundamental thing that you got to be able to do. Drops kill you.
So instead of a first down, it's third down, 13 needed for the first. A surefire passing situation here, you would think. Nickel's going to bring them up. He'll call the play. They're lined up.
So they bluffed pressure last time in this situation. Now they're sitting back. Let's see if they bring them from depth here.
Here's Luke. He's got it. Looking. All kind of time to throw. Now he's going to roll out. Throws. Complete, but it's out of bounds, Coach.
Oh, we may have a late hit down here.
Boy, and if that's the case, that's costly. You could have had a turnover forcing Milton. What do we got?
Roughing and passing.
Oh, my goodness.
That's as bad as a turnover right there in that situation.
Ouch. You
got him 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
You played great defense. Looks like they dropped back into a Tampa 2 look, which is really, really difficult to throw against. Played great coverage. Nowhere to go with it, and you bail them out.
Wow. We have seen some costly penalties here tonight. That may be the costliest of them all. As Coach just described to you, you were looking at Milton having to punt it away. Gainesville, I mentioned, the momentum has kind of shifted to their side right now. But Milton hangs on to the football, plus you add 15 yards to it. You give them another first down.
I mean, again, it feels like a turnover on that side to Gainesville right there.
Sure. 1st and 10, Milton now at their own 46-yard line. One back off the left hip of Nickel. Quick toss, wide receiver screen out there. We got another penalty flag as the Gainesville corner come up and made the catch right away. But, Coach, what do we got on the penalty?
I don't know. It seems like we have probably a hold up top, and I wonder if we've got an offsides down here.
We'll get the call from the white hat here, the crew chief, who will give it to us here in just a minute. I think he's asking Niblett what he wants to do, maybe.
We got 2 flags on the play.
Oh, we do? Okay. So here comes the call. False start.
False start, illegal shift.
That's declined.
And probably got a hold up top. That's the danger sometimes of throwing those things out on the perimeter. They feel like long handoffs, but when you got team speed like Milton, when you got team speed like Gainesville, a lot of times you get some holding calls out there on the perimeter. But
so interesting they declined that one, Coach.
I guess it wasn't a holding call.
Yeah.
I saw him throw that flag up top. But
yeah, false start, and it's declined. So 2nd and 10. Got a man open down the far side. There he goes. Nobody's going to catch him. It's a touchdown.
Wow.
Wow.
Just like that.
Incredible.
Just like that. Now you come back to that penalty, Phil. You come back to the penalty that would have had them off the field. That turns into a 7-point swing. You just got to be eating yourself up about that one.
Ethan Barbour on the touchdown catch that time, Coach.
And it just should not be legal for a guy that big to move that fast.
Unbelievable. So, boy, the penalty, Coach described it. It's costly. It gives Milton a new set of downs, and they take advantage of it. A long touchdown strike from Luke Nickel to Ethan Barber, and that puts Milton back in the driver's seat now as it's 20-10 with the point after attempt coming up here. So we must have had a penalty, I'm guessing, after the play. They're talking to Ben Reeves.
Was it maybe an unsportsmanlike on Milton there?
Might be. I don't know, Coach. Let's see. So we'll find out. They're talking about something. Now, the point after attempt will come from where it normally is. This to make it 21-10.
So they'll probably assess that. Probably assess that on the kickoff.
I got you. Stover going to try to put Milton up by 11 here. 20-10. Here's the snap. The kick is up. Kick is good. 21-10 the score. Coach, talk about how big that series of events was.
I mean, it's huge. It's huge. Now, you can look at it one or two ways on the sideline here. Obviously, you're eat up that you had a chance to get them off the field. You had a chance to get the ball back in good field position. And then, 3 plays later, there's a touchdown. But you can also look at it from the other side. Hey, that's the third time in a row that we should have had them off the field. So, clearly something is going on that defensive side that is at least putting a pause to the Milton offense. But, you just can't give an offense like that extra opportunities. There's just too many weapons.
So, whoa.
Now, Phil, I would be remiss if I did not give my lovely wife a shout out here.
Yes, by all means.
She wanted to let us know that the eagle sounds are called trumpeting. And so,
Okay.
She is here to fact check
this out.
Yep, the elephant sound. Sorry, the elephant sound. The elephant sound is trumpeting. The elephant sound is trumpeting. So she'll be here to fact check us all night.
Hey, that's part of the mini job is to keep you in line.
That's
right.
Oh. No doubt about that. Yeah, so we're assessing this on the kickoff here. So that's a big penalty because we've been putting the ball in the end zone. The Milton Eagles have been putting the ball in the end zone. So now you're going to set up a potential return opportunity.
All right, so let's see if that's going to be costly, Coach. So maybe what a little celebration.
So had a little seam there up the middle, I thought.
That's former Milton head football coach Adam Clack on the observation here with me tonight. I'm glad that we've got him up here to give you that great insight. I'm Phil Jones, the play-by-play man for ITG Next. Thanks so much for being with us tonight for this big Class 5A matchup, big Region 7 5A matchup between the undefeated Milton Eagles and the one-loss Gainesville Red Elephants. Right now, it's in the favor of the Milton Eagles, 21-10. With just over 7 minutes to go in the first half. Incomplete.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's seeing out there because that's 3 times now that he's gone to that quick screen, and they don't have the numbers. There's an unblocked Eagle defender out there each time, and, I wonder if he's just misreading that or what.
So going to bring up second down, 10 now. Again, a swing of momentum here tonight with Milton going back on top and maybe reclaiming the momentum. Little bootleg and a throw.
Like I said, we've tried that bootleg 3 times now, and there's just nothing open in the flat, and they're forcing him to have to look downfield, and it's tough to throw across your body right there, going hard to the right there with your receiver breaking back the other way.
Absolutely. So nothing doing on the first 2 snaps here for Gainesville. So third down and 10. Clock stopped now. 7:20 to go in the first half. Milton leads it 21-10.
Back to our empty formation here.
Yep.
Last time we were here, it was a little quarterback draw.
Let's see if we get that same thing here. And I believe we've got.
Looks like offsides on the defense. So that's going to put it into a little more third and manageable.
So it goes from 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 5 now, if that indeed is the call. They're talking it over. A lot of errors, Coach, here in the early going in this first half.
Yeah, and sometimes you see that, a lot of them. Oh, I guess it's going to be a false start.
Yeah, wow. So instead of a 3rd and 5, it's now 3rd and 15.
3rd and 15, so again, right where you don't want to be. These long third situations against an aggressive ball-hawking defense, sometimes that can be a recipe for disaster. But I tell you, they've actually been really good on 3rd and long this quarter and a half so far. So let's see what they got.
Another empty backfield here on 3rd and long. Hughley, short drop, throws, incomplete. He had a man open at the 30, and he missed him.
Still pressure, pressure. They're not even having to bring extra guys, so that's always a good feeling on defense when you can get pressure with 4 and still have your guys back in coverage.
Jamie Fraley-Seeger tells us Camden 14-7 on Richmond Hill. Camden kind of licking their wounds from the big loss to Valdosta. All right, here's the punt, high punt, short punt, and it's going to be out of bounds. Let's see where they mark this one. Still walking it up, and they'll mark it at the 40.
Here we go, story of the first quarter. Milton with great offensive position. Gainesville having to play from their own side there. So that was the recipe for the early scores by Milton. And again, I would even say the third score that they had there, because of the penalty, is like a turnover, and you're getting a fresh set of downs on the 40 again. So
absolutely.
Each time that they've been able to get Milton to start on their own side, back behind the 30, they've had success. But
all right, so here's the situation. We've got 7:05 left to go in the first half. Milton leads at 21-10. Gainesville needs a stop here. You don't want to go down 28-10 here and let Milton come down and score again. So big defensive stand this time for the Red Elephants. Let's see what we get. Going to throw out there, complete. Going to go up close to the first down marker. Boy, Coach, talk about that play. Nicely designed.
Just another high-level play by your quarterback. I mean, that's essentially triple option. He's got the option read to keep it or run it. As he's getting out to run, the linebacker scrapes over the top, and he has a third option to throw it out there to his receiver. So great job staying at home by those guys. Great heads-up play by Luke Nickel right there.
Boy, that's got to be a game. That's got to be a defensive nightmare. I mean, what do you do there? Do you commit to the quarterback? I mean, not much you could do.
Somebody's got to win a one-on-one matchup right there is basically what it boils down to.
New set of downs for Milton just across the 50. Going to hand it. Left side, not much, maybe a yard. We'll check the forward progress there, Coach, from T.J. Lester.
I tell you, both defensive lines have really been playing well. Luke has had to negotiate a little bit of pressure at times. Both running games are being forced to bounce as they're taking those inside gaps away, and the defense is coming up and making great tackles.
Brandon Bailey that time on the tackle. Boy, he's had a busy night defensively for the Red Elephants. All right, second down. We'll give him a yard on that play. So 2nd and 9 now for Milton. Luke Nickel looks complete. Boy, I tell you, that there are so many weapons. So you don't see many teams, especially in high school, with one, but Milton 2 big-time tight ends, and that time we saw yet another one.
Yet another one, and they have a third one, like I said earlier, who would be starting on probably any other team in the country. So now you're in 3rd and manageable here. Yep. Probably 4-down territory. Wouldn't be surprised to see a run.
And what do we got? Got a timeout here, I believe.
If I'm Milton, the way I'm thinking about this, Gainesville has only scored on big plays. They really haven't been able to establish much of a rhythmic offense. Right. If I'm them right here, I'm thinking I've got 4 as long as we get positive yards here on 3rd down. So, another big first down here, and now you're you're in striking distance again.
So Ryan Gee was the one who made that last catch. He was the name I was struggling with a little bit there. One of their 2 or 3 great tight ends.
Yeah.
Again, just not fair.
So you got Ryan G, who's got he's going to Auburn. You got Barbour, who's going to Georgia.
Yeah.
And then you've got young Haviland, who is a sophomore, who's already got a Georgia Tech offer.
Incredible. I mentioned this earlier. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about the Milton offense, deservedly so, but on defense you got 9 seniors that are committed to Power 4 teams. Defensively for Gainesville, you've got Julius Columbus going to Duke. You got Xavier Griffin going to Southern Cal, the defensive line and linebacker respectively. Okay, here we go. Coming out of the timeout now. 3rd and 4, Milton. Big play for both teams. Nickel, looks, rolls, looks, throws. He's directing traffic. It's a little high, and I believe it's going to be incomplete.
All right, so we're going to play a little field position right here.
All right, so Milton not going to take any chances here. They're going to punt it away, Coach, and they're going to try to pin Gainesville back deep.
Like I said, haven't been able to drive the field. It's been big plays. Keep Gainesville back there and tough field position and play some great defense like they've been playing.
All right, so we got a timeout here. We're going to keep it right here. So, Coach, your thoughts as we get late here in the first half. Again, both teams have had their chances. Milton certainly has taken advantage, but Gainesville, boy, they're fighting, scratching, and clawing and keeping themselves in this game.
They're fighting, scratching, and clawing. Like I said, it's been big plays for them, and they've had some near misses as well. Have not been able to really get much rhythm going. And after the couple big plays by Milton, I guess you could say that by both teams. So even though we've got 31 points on the board, I wouldn't say that the defenses are really playing poorly at all. I'll tell you this, be on high alert for a little fake punt right here.
Oh, you think so?
I know they always have something up their sleeve here on special teams, so we'll see.
Well, it's a perfect spot in the field to do it. And you're right around midfield, and,
One of those, is it too perfect? Is it too perfect to where you start playing that chess match? Are they expecting the fake punt?
So we're about to find out together here on board. And it's 4th and maybe 3 needed for the first down. I bet Gainesville is going to be looking for something funky here, Coach. What do you bet? There it is. You called it, Coach. And they're going to get the first down. You called it. That's why we've got the head coach up here in the booth with us. He said to look out for that, and that's exactly what happened. Do you think that they called it? Was that Milton that took the timeout?
I'm not sure who took that timeout.
But regardless, do you think that Coach Reeves maybe said, "Hey, let's change it up. Let's go for it. Let's fake the punt." What do you think?
Or it could have been, hey, we're calling a fake, and it looked like there was some confusion, so we're going to make sure we take this timeout. I was kind of surprised that they were lining up for the punt to begin with, because I felt like that was a good spot to go for it on 4th down. So
yeah.
So when you can snap it to Barbour, it's a pretty good running back to give it to.
Oh, isn't that the truth? All right, so they get the first down, new set of downs. Luke Nickel throws, got a man wide open over here on the sideline. They'll drive him out of bounds at the 25, 26-yard line. That's complete to Tristan Payne. Man, weapon after weapon here for Milton.
Yeah, and he's one that gets forgotten about sometimes, and he is as good of a slot receiver as you'll see. Super speed. I mean, sure-handed. I know he had to drop earlier, and that was uncharacteristic.
4 minutes, 4:04 to go. 2nd and short. Man, I think we may see him take a shot here. Let's see. Nope.
Oh, wow.
Going to run it. And going to lose a couple of yards that time, Coach.
Like I say, both defensive lines are really playing really well. Again, you see Milton with 21 points, but they've had outstanding field position all night long. Not to take away from what they're doing on offense, but, this Gainesville defense is not rolling over by any stretch of the imagination.
Xavier Griffin, the junior linebacker, 6'4", 215 variety, came in and stuffed that run. So now you're in a 3rd down situation here. 3:23, 3:22. Clock continues to run here. 3rd down and 4. Milton leads at 21-14, and we're going to have a timeout here on the field.
I believe we were looking at another opportunity there for a run-pass option out of Luke. He had 3 receivers to the left there, probably checking his numbers, and if he likes them, he'd spit it out there, and if not, he's probably going to tuck it and run and try to pick those 4 yards up by himself.
All right, so some scores that we can report to you. Camden over Richmond Hill at the half, 14-7. Lee County up on Coffee, 25-7. In case you missed it last night, Drew Swick and the Collinsville Eagles. Remember, we had them last week with the Buford Wolves over in Buford as our ITG Next Georgia game of the week. That thing was 7-3 at the half. A little bit of discussion about that. Collinsville had played on that Monday. They turn around 4 days later and play a team like Buford. Coach Swick said, hey, I think we ran out of gas in the second half. Maybe so. Buford's pretty good, but Collinsville, a good defense. They were able to rebound from that loss to Buford, and they came out last night and defeat a good Mill Creek football team 13-12.
Now, that's a huge win for them. That's a huge rivalry, too.
Yeah.
Playing on a Monday and then turning around and having to play a team like Buford, that's going to be tough on anyone.
Absolutely. You know? All right, coming out of the timeout now, 3rd down, 3rd and about 4. Milton at the Gainesville 29-yard line. Nickel looks, throws.
Great defense.
Boy, it was great defense there. Pass intended that time for number 1, Ethan Barbour,
and that just
incomplete.
That shows you the high quality of these coaching staffs. You know, they've gone to Barbour on those screens a few times in critical situations. Right there is a well-designed play, but just even better defense right there. So, great job of being in the lab by those defensive coordinators there by Gainesville.
All right, here we go again, Coach. Though it's 4-down territory, no surprise here. They're going to go for it on 4th and 4. Everybody on their feet here at Bobby Grundon Field at City Park in Gainesville. Big play here. 4th down. Nickel directing traffic. Heavy rush. Throws. Complete. But Gainesville's going to come up with the stop.
And I think we've got a illegal motion by Milton right there, and we'll decline that, and it'll be a turnover on down. What a stop by Gainesville right there.
Wow. Coach, what do you think, man? It was a well-designed play, but, again, great defense and a great defensive reaction that time by Gainesville.
Yep. And, just trying to throw, you got a big receiver like C.J. Wiley out there, and, you get him the ball in space and hope that he can break a tackle. But we were talking about it earlier. We were giving Milton a lot of credit for the way that they're tackling. Man, this Gainesville team is tackling sure as anyone as well.
That is a huge play by the Gainesville defense. They're going to turn away Milton on another scoring threat. So Gainesville back on offense now. They've got it 1st and 10. Late in the first half, 3:07 left. Let's see if Gainesville tries to get something going here at the end of the half, Coach.
Absolutely.
Hewley looks, throws. Little crossing route is complete. Going to break away from one tackler, and he's going to take it to the 50.
I'm telling you, that was really, really great out of a sophomore quarterback right there. They were setting up a shot play that was covered, and he had the wherewithal to come back down and find his check down right there. A lot of guys would have just thrown that ball into coverage. Great job by him right there.
All right, so here comes Gainesville. New set of downs, 1st and 10. They're just shy of midfield. They're looking for points. They're down 21-10. 2 receivers up on top. Little pass complete across the middle. It's complete to the Milton 40.
Now, if I'm Coach Niblett right here, I'm making sure that I go fast but not too fast. You don't want to leave any time for this Milton offense to get back on the field. So you want to take this down all the way to where this is the last possession of the half.
Gotcha. All right, so here comes Gainesville now. This has been a game of momentum, just back and forth, back and forth.
Good job right here of slowing it down a little bit. Let a little time go. You've got timeouts.
There you go. You called it. So here we go. 1st and 10, just inside the Milton 40. Gainesville trails it, but they're looking for points. Hughley going to call his own number there. He goes. He's got room. Look out. Still on his feet. Hughley's got to go to the end zone. Oh, are you kidding me?
As we talked about earlier, I saw earlier when that defensive end was crashing, it's going to take this young guy being able to use his legs to offset some of that aggression by the Milton defense. What a great, great job right there. Now, hey, we're going to take the score any way we can get it, but we left this Milton offense with plenty of time to go back down and answer.
Yeah, you called that. So let's see now. So that's going to cut the lead. 21-16, the point after attempt here coming up. Here's the snap. The kick is up. And the kick from Francisco Johnson, the junior, is good.
What a great answer by Gainesville right there. To give up the fake punt, to not be deflated, to then have a fourth down stand, and then to come back and score. And what was that, 3-4 plays?
Yeah. 4 plays, 21-17. Hughley, 39-yard touchdown keeper. Coach, he took it around the right side. He found an opening, and, boy, he let his speed take over.
Absolutely, yeah. I believe it was down here on this side earlier to our right when we had a handoff that got stuffed in and felt like he had a little bit of space around the edge there. I'm sure Gainesville coaches saw that and came right back to it. I'll tell you, man, this young sophomore quarterback is living up to the billing. I heard a lot about him. My first opportunity to see him play, and I'm thoroughly impressed.
So Obadiah Nuclear 1 Farley giving us an update, 25-14 now, Lee County. Coffee cuts into the lead. That's in the third quarter, 11:02. Obadiah, thanks so much for those updates. That's a big game in Leesburg. We've got folks there, and we'll be bringing you highlights of that this upcoming week at ITG Next Georgia. So got some pregame locker room from Dean Fabrizio and the Lee County Trojans, as well as game highlights for both teams. All right, here we go. High kick. It's returnable from the 3. 10, 15. Oh, what a hit! Oh! That'll get this Gainesville team fired up. What a hit.
You know, not to be Captain Obvious, because all these drives are big drives in a game like this, but, you know, if you're Gainesville right now with a minute 54 left and Milton getting the ball to start the game in the second half, you definitely want to make sure, you know, you don't over-celebrate right here, because you still got some work to do.
Zachary Ingram was the one that came down and delivered the blow on special teams, but Milton's got it. 1st and 10, just inside their own 20. Coach has been talking about this now. Do they leave too much time? 1:54 left to go. Let's see if Milton gets their hurry-up offense on track here and brings it down the field. Handoff right up the middle. Running room, taking it across the 25, about the 26-yard line that time from T.J. Lester. And I think we've got an injured man on the field. We've got an injured Gainesville Red Elephant on the field. You always hate to see that. Trying to call the number here. Having trouble seeing. Coach, you got the number on that young man?
I do not. Got a host of trainers around him, which is a great thing.
Yep. Josh Niblett, the head football coach for Gainesville. I hope I look like that cat when I'm his age, man.
He definitely puts the work in. He don't miss many days in the gym, does he?
No, he does not. He really doesn't. We've established a great relationship with both of these head football coaches. Ben Reeves. By the way, I told Coach Reeves, I said, special guest, Adam Clack, going to be on the call tonight. He said, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I tell you, man, Ben and I we had formed such a great relationship, such a close working relationship. You know, he was my offensive coordinator for those 5 years, and he did such a wonderful job, and we worked so close together, and just so thrilled for the success that he's having. Not surprised at all. He was super ready for his moment when he got it, and he's running with it.
Caden Fossling was the injured Red Elephant, but thankfully he is able to come off the field under his own power. So that's good to see there. See if he gets back in the game shortly.
And so we got a minute 30 going here.
Yep, minute 30.
If you're Gainesville, you just cannot give up the big explosive here.
2nd and short, 2nd and about 4. Nickel going to give it to the back who's going to get here to the corner, but not much. Gainesville will come up and shut it down pretty quickly that time on number 28, Kevin Maven Winchester.
So now the chess match flips back. So now there's a minute 16. If Gainesville can get off the field right here, they've got an opportunity to go in and potentially take the lead going into half.
Can you believe that?
Who would have thought that in the first quarter?
Nobody, I don't believe. Not the way this thing started. And I got to be honest with you. You kind of get the feeling, really, that Milton still is kind of in control here. I mean, they got the lead, but as you said, this thing is just one whisker away from changing hands. Let's see if it comes this time on a third down. Luke Nickel looks, throws across the middle, batted away, incomplete.
Man, you always feel good throwing it up to big number 4 right there, but I really would have loved to see Luke just step up and take that and get that first down there. That is one of those game management things where you have to get that first down because you have now left them with a minute 10, all the momentum in the world, and timeouts.
Xavier Griffin coming up to knock it away from C.J. Wiley. And, Coach, you mentioned it now. Milton's going to have to kick it away. I don't think there's any doubt they're going to punt this one away. And Gainesville should get really good field position late here with about a minute left.
Got the jump. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
boy.
Didn't we talk about it? Didn't we talk about the bag of tricks on special teams and how that was going to be a factor in this game?
You did.
Vinny
called it.
Vinny Silvestri, the special teams coordinator, just dialing them up today. I love it.
Unbelievable. So if what happened, we think happened, is going to be an offsides on Gainesville, and, boy, that's going to give it back to Milton with a new set of downs. Coach, how costly is that? Now, they're talking about this, a long discussion here.
I wonder if they're going to call, like snap infraction.
Yeah.
You can't, you can't draw off with with your body.
Well, they're having, go ahead, Coach.
You can give a hard count all you want, but if they determine, and I think they did,
that's
that he
exactly what
clapped,
it's going to be. That is indeed. Coach, I knew when they were talking about that a long time, you knew it wasn't some cut and dry call.
Yeah, and I would like to see it again. I saw him clap. I saw the demonstrative, hard count.
Yep.
Which, again, if they determine that his body brought the defense out, then that is a snap infraction.
Wow.
I would like to be in that huddle to hear what crossed the line. Was it too much body lean? Because you can clap. There's nothing wrong with that.
So, boy, I tell you what, that is Coach, that has really invigorated this Gainesville sideline, this Gainesville home crowd. And, boy, that's just, again, what plays like that will do for a team, won't it?
I tell you, it's been there has been some emotional swings in this game already, and we're just a half in. I cannot wait to see. Well, hey, we still got a minute 10 in this half. So
incredible.
We have we're in for it. Get your popcorn, guys. This is going to be something.
If you haven't already, absolutely get that popcorn because we are in for a humdinger of a game here. We've already had one. A game that started out with Milton jumping on top. Looked like they were going to be off and running, looked very comfortable. Well, boy, credit to a Josh Niblett coach team. He never let these guys give up. They fought their way back, and here they are with a chance to come up with something big. Hey, I bet Gainesville would like to come after this punt. Let's see what happens.
This would be a fantastic time to come after the punt. Now, again, if you're coming at it, you better be under control because the last thing you want to do is a personal foul on the kicker here, and then you give the ball right back to Milton.
Milton's going to have to punt this one away from deep in their own end zone. Sierra Meenan is the punter. Coach, he's going to punt this one away from about a yard deep in the end zone. The Gainesville return man is at the Milton 45. Wow.
I think you called it, Phil. It definitely looks like their ears are getting pinned back up here. Could also be a great time to simulate a block and then set up a return. If you get that Milton cover unit to have to set back tighter and hold their blocks longer, could spring some opportunities for the return game. Punting out of your own end zone is never a good thing.
Man, I can't imagine any more worse situations. A pressure cooker of a situation here, without a doubt. Getting a long way or a long time to get this thing snapped. Let's see what happens here. Again, we're just over a minute to go in the half. 1:10 left with Milton on top, 21-17. But Gainesville's about to have a chance here. Let's see if they go after it. Let's see if they set up the return. What's going to happen here? Here's the snap.
They are setting up a return. He's
Kick
got some
taking it
space.
to 48. Taking it to the right. Oh, it's an end around. It's an end around. 50, 45, 40, 35. 32-yard line. So Gainesville comes up with a little trickery here, Coach.
Oh, man. And you can tell they're sensing a little bit of blood in the water right there. You dial up a return.
Penalty flag on the play. I don't know if we got a hold or some kind of late hit. Let's wait for the call. Coach, did you see what happened?
I think it could be a personal foul there. Looked like a little blocking through the whistle.
Wow, Coach, that's huge. Again, that was a big play.
They're still going to have great field position here.
Yep.
Not all is lost. They had all 3 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken. 55 seconds, 3 timeouts. You're still in plenty of time to get something going here.
Milton with 1 timeout. Coach called it, though. The Red Elephants, all 3 of their timeouts still remain. So you can bet they're probably going to use them on this play. Just under a minute, 55.2 seconds left. And coming out of this penalty, let's see what we get here, Coach. Yeah, it is going to be, I guess, a hold on the return.
Yeah, and sometimes you see penalties in a game like this, and you start questioning, are these teams undisciplined? Are they this? Are they that? And I don't think that's the case. You see a lot of aggressive play, and these guys are they're doing everything they can to try to give their team a chance. You go into halftime and you just, kind of take a deep breath, come back out, play within yourself. Because penalties are killing both teams, to be honest with you.
That must come from the spot of the foul, Coach, because it's now all the way back. Gainesville back at their own 44 instead of having it around the 20 of Milton, Coach. That is huge.
That is.
That is about a 40-yard penalty. But Gainesville's got it. Coach mentioned it, still in good field position at their own 44, just under a minute to go. Let's see what the Red Elephants draw up here.
Would not be surprised to see quarterback's legs again.
He called his own number that last possession, and it turned out quite good. They'll take and hand it off. It's a fumble! Milton's got it, I believe. Milton's going to come up with the fumble. Boy, that is a costly fumble that time, Coach.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness. I mean, this is got more swings than a playground out here today. Like I tell you, it is back and forth, just one after another.
More swings in a playground. I love that one, Coach. Oh, are you kidding me? Gainesville could have controlled the possession there, could have taken it down, played for the last play of the second or the first half. Instead, it's a turnover, and now Milton's offense with the lead. They're going to come back now on the field.
Alert for shot right here.
Look out.
Alert for shot right here.
No kidding. 4 receivers this time. Coach called it. Let's see if Luke Nickel and the Milton offense draw one up here and try to strike it deep. Nickel takes the snap, looks. Got a man wide open on the far sideline. Complete to Tristan Payne. And he's going to get a nice gain and stop the clock, Coach.
Man,
great play.
I tell you, I'm still thinking back on the reverse that gets them down to the 30, and Gainesville was just in control, and now here comes Milton just right back at him.
At the Gainesville 40, still plenty of time. Nickel with an empty backfield. Going to throw. Got a man wide open. Complete to the 16-yard line. Complete to Barbour that time.
Same play they scored on earlier. Just a little out route to bring the corner down, and they're throwing it into the soft spot before the safety can get over the top.
Hurry up offense. 35 seconds to go. It's a new set of downs. Luke Nickel throws, man open, makes the catch. but not much of a gain, and it's going to keep the clock running here. Probably going to have to take a timeout
We'll be taking
here.
a timeout.
16, 15, 14, 13, 12 seconds, 11 seconds. Nickel going to throw it to the end zone, and it's batted away.
Wow, what defense right there.
Wow.
Man, and you really would have liked to have used your timeout right there. I think you use your timeout there, you give yourself 2 plays at least, and you still have a timeout.
Wow.
So now we're going to go into the half holding on to a timeout.
Yeah, you got to wonder. 5 seconds, so you really have no choice here, I guess, to try to take the 3.
Yeah, and it'll be a big 3. Go ahead and give yourself that 7-point lead, and you get the ball back in the second half. You go back in and regroup right here. I think both teams need to go to their respective corners and regroup for the second half. But we got a big field goal right here at first.
Yeah, 30-yard attempt from Stover. The hold will come at the 20 from Cooper Bradshaw. And Gainesville, I guess, going to try to freeze him here, Coach.
We had a false start.
Oh, we had a false start. False start. So back him up. Obadiah Farley reporting 42-12 Trojans. I'm not sure which Trojans that is. We had a 25-14 score earlier, so I'm not sure what game that is Obadiah Farley's telling us about. All right, 25-yard line, 35-yard attempt.
Now we're freezing.
Now we're going to freeze him. And again, it's all about you can't take the timeouts to the locker room with you, so you got to use them.
Might as well use them.
That's what Niblett decides to do there. Your thoughts on this first half as we'll come back with this 30-yard field goal attempt. Your thoughts here on this first half of both teams.
I tell you, we were talking about it earlier, and it felt like Milton was in such control, but now you go back and you look, and it was a couple of big plays with great field position. Every time that Milton had been in bad field position, the Gainesville defense was playing really well. And, the third touchdown came after a big penalty that would have got him off the field.
Yep.
So, that would be what would be concerning me going into halftime if I'm Milton is, we've got 21 points and we got the lead or potentially 24, but it has not been clean. You've given this Gainesville team who was down a lot of life, and that's a scary competitor to be going against coming in the second half.
All right, so here we go. This will, with all intents and purposes, be the last play of the first half. And it will be a 35-yard field goal from Drew Stover. And here we go. We'll all watch it together. The kick is up, and he is.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God, he missed it. He missed it.
It must have just hung right. He kicked it really well, looked good, and must have just hung right outside that right upright right there.
Wow, Coach, I was getting ready to call it good, but not so fast. It's wide right. As Coach said, he had plenty of distance, but
hit it true, hit it strong, and just did not sneak it in there, looks like.
That will bring us to the end of the first half, and what an exciting first couple of quarters we have had here at Bobby Grun Field at City Park in Gainesville. With your score, the Milton Eagles 21, the homestanding Red Elephants of Gainesville 17, the ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week. Wow. That's getting your money's worth there.
I tell you. Man, it had all the makings of the favorite coming in, doing their thing, imposing their will, and, gosh, credit to this Gainesville team to weather the storm right there, as you would expect from a Josh Niblett coach team. And I'm telling you, I feel, if it's a barometer, I feel momentum on Gainesville right now.
No question.
Being down like that, being the underdog, knowing that you got, the defending 7A state champion coming into your house, to get down and fight back right there, to go into halftime, there's going to be a lot of life in that Gainesville team, and there's, it'll be interesting to see what the mentality of that Milton team is now coming out. Sometimes you can start to tighten up and maybe start trying to do a little too much, and that's a recipe for some bad things going the other way.
Our halftime recap, again presented by Farrah and Farrah and Northeast Georgia Physicians Group, 21-17. Coach started off with a couple of touchdown passes from Milton, 37-23 yards respectively 14-3. Gainesville adding a 31-yard field goal at the end of the first quarter, 14-3 at the end of one. And then we go to the second quarter, and we had that big interception from Gainesville, and that seemed to kind of turn the tide.
Yes, yeah, they got him into a 3rd and long, and, it ended up not hurting as bad because of the penalty. I mean, let's go back and think about all the hidden yardage of penalties that have been against Gainesville. There's probably close to 100 if you really think about what doesn't show up in the box score. You had that big return on the interception that probably was about 30 to 40 yards. And then you had the big punt return that puts them right here on the 30 with another penalty that backs them up. So, as much as it felt like early on Gainesville really was just kind of going in spits and spurts, to me, they maybe have some more of the most consistent play if you look back at the first half.
After that interception, we had the big 73-yard touchdown pass to Jeremiah Ware. That cut it to 14-10. Here comes Milton right back, though, with another touchdown from Ethan Barbour. And that was from 60 yards out. 60 yards out, that made it 21-10. And then Gainesville, 39-yard touchdown keeper from Hughley. You called it. He called his own number there. The extra point was good, and that's where we stand, 21-17 at the half.
Hey, man, it is living up to everything we hoped it could be, and we'll see Milton with the ball first.
Yep.
Could be a great opportunity for them to try to establish a little bit of rhythm. Like I said, they've been scoring on the big plays. They've had that, but, neither team has been able to really get rhythmic on offense. So I'm sure both coaches will be working hard to establish that in the second half.
That's Adam Clagg, the former Milton head football coach. I'm Phil Jones. We're going to let you enjoy the sights of the halftime entertainment while we take a break. Again, your first half recap brought to you by Farrah & Farrah, personal injury attorneys, and Northeast Georgia Physicians Group. 21-17 at the half. You're watching the ITG Next Georgia Game of the Week.